Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome back to another edition of the Versus series. So today we are, of course, doing a Blue Yeti showdown and comparing the Yeti Nano, the Yeti Original, and the Yeti Pro to see which one is the best and which one you should buy. But before we jump into the tests, let's go ahead and talk briefly about the build quality. So the Yeti and the Yeti Pro are nearly identical build qualities, except the Yeti Pro does have a nice coating on it. They both have headphone volume controls and microphone mute buttons on the front, and a microphone gain dial as well as polar pattern selection dial on the rear of the microphone. The Yeti Nano, on the other hand, has a joint headphone volume and microphone mute button on the front, and on the rear it just has a polar pattern selection switch. Now let's jump into the tests. Right now I'm speaking into the new Blue Yeti Nano, which will set you back around $100. This thing only has a cardioid or omnidirectional polar pattern, a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, a max SPL of 120 decibels, a bit depth of 24 bit, and a sample rate of up to 48 kHz. Right now, I'm speaking into the original Blue Yeti, which will set you back around $130. This thing has a cardioid, omnidirectional, bidirectional, and stereo polar pattern, a frequency response of 20 to 20 kHz, a max SPL of 120 bits, a bit depth of 16 bit, and a sampling rate of up to 48 kHz. And now I'm speaking into the Blue Yeti Pro, which will set you back around $250. This thing also has a cardioid, omnidirectional, bidirectional, and stereo polar pattern, a frequency response of 20 to 20 kHz, a max SPL of 120 decibels, a bit depth of 24-bit, and a sampling rate up to 192 kHz. Now I'm spinning around the Yeti Nano to 90 degrees to show you the off-axis rejection and coloration. We are continuing around to 180 degrees to show you how it sounds from the rear. We will continue spinning it around to the secondary 90-degree angle, and then we will spin it around till we end at the front. Now I'm speaking into the front of the original Yeti, moving around to 90 degrees to show you the off-axis coloration and rejection. We will go ahead and move around to 180 degrees to show you how it sounds from the rear. Continue around to the secondary 90-degree angle, and continue rotating and speaking until we end at the front. Okay, now I am spinning around the Yeti Pro to 90 degrees to show you the off-axis rejection and coloration. We will continue around to 180 degrees to show you how it sounds from the rear. We will continue spinning the microphone back to the secondary 90-degree angle and continue spinning until we end at the front. Now I'm typing on a keyboard with Cherry MX Blues to see how much of my voice versus how much of the keyboard it picks up. Cherry MX Blue background noise test on the original Blue Yeti. Testing the background noise with Cherry MX Blues on the Blue Yeti Pro. Right on top of the Yeti Nano to show you the proximity effect. Right on top of the Yeti to show you the proximity effect. Right on top of the Yeti Pro to show you the proximity effect. About 2 feet away from the Blue Yeti Nano, 2 feet away from the original Blue Yeti, and about 2 feet away from the Yeti Pro. We may not find out what to do, so I'll do my best to show them all to you. I hope that this will show you what the mics are like from Blue. And the winner of this Versus series is the original Blue Yeti, but there are some caveats to that, so let's talk about those. So the first footnote or side note here is the only reason that I didn't pick the Blue Yeti Pro is because I think $250 is a bit overpriced given what people typically buy the Blue Yeti for, which only really requires a cardioid polar pattern. The second caveat is I honestly wouldn't recommend any of these microphones if you're recording gaming content with a really loud keyboard, if you're podcasting, if you're in conference calls, or if you record in a really noisy environment or a completely untreated room. I would say don't get any of these microphones. And the reason I say that is you would be served infinitely better with a USB dynamic microphone like the Samson Q2U or the ATR 2100 USB. But if you are dead set on picking up one of these Blue Yeti microphones for those applications, I would recommend the Blue Yeti Nano. But with all of that being said, why did I actually select the Blue Yeti? And it's because I do think it's the best bang for your buck if you're buying this microphone for the application that I think it's actually good for, which would be music. Now, the Yeti Nano does sound pretty good, but it is lacking a little bit in the mids and the low mid section in comparison to the Blue Yeti and the Yeti Pro. And it also does lack the stereo mode, which is insanely useful and fun to use if you're recording any acoustic instruments or if, God forbid, you're doing ASMR. Oh my God, I almost threw up there. So in summary, out of these three microphones, I do think the Yeti or the Yeti Nano are perfectly fine options. They'll serve you well depending on your personal preferences, your environment, and what you're looking for in your microphone. But if you do any of those things that I mentioned before, whether it be podcasting, gaming with a loud keyboard, or if you record in a noisy environment, I would really urge you to consider looking into a USB dynamic microphone because they will be a better tool for the job. And there it is. I'm going to wrap up the video there, but I do want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Do you agree with the conclusion that I came to, or do you prefer one of the other two microphones? Which of these three is your personal favorite? If you found the video fun, interesting, or helpful, or you got any value out of it, consider hitting that subscribe button and maybe hitting that bell button. And if you do want to see the dumb stuff that I say all the time, consider following me on Twitter at BandrewSays. That's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.